I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations, small businesses, and nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they are here to give you updates on future projects. So let's make some new friends today.
Yeah.
Today, we will be honoring the memory of a fallen officer on Lifestyle Tucson. That fallen officer's name is ERIK D. HITE. It's a somber tone to start, but a celebration of life as well, because I'm going to tell you how you can honor fallen officers and help out a lot of Tucson families as well. The ERIK HITE Foundation is a nonprofit organization established to memorialize the life and sacrifice of Tucson police officer ERIK D. HITE, who was killed in the line of duty on June 2nd, 2008. The ERIK HITE Foundation supports Southern Arizona's first responders and their families by providing extended hours childcare and early education, as well as summer camp scholarships and adult life skills training and counseling for challenges associated with first responder high-risk occupations. Today, I am joined by Noemi HITE, founder and chief executive director of the ERIK HITE Foundation. Noemi, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you, Frank. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit more about your organization, and then we're going to get straight to your big event, which is coming up.
Yeah, it's been 14 years. In 2009, a little bit over a year after I lost ERIK, I established the foundation. I started with a small group of friends and co-workers of ERIK in 2009 to talk about the needs of first responders' families and the officers at that time. So ever since 2009, we've been going strong to develop programs that benefit and filling those gaps to help and benefit the families.
That's really important. I'm originally a New Yorker, if you can't tell. And I was even going to school like in 2001 when 9/11 happened. And that's really when people really started to talk even more about first responders and bring them back into the light of being heroes. Mm-hmm. You know, heroes in our community. And again, we grew up in a time back in the day where officers of the law and some of these other folks like firefighters and people were really looked up to in the neighborhood and in the community. And I feel that it's smart and important to remind people how important this is. And again, honoring the memory of those that we've lost. So this foundation that, again, I'm so sorry for your loss, but we're going to talk about the good that has come in ERIK's name since 2009. And there's a lot of good to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So the foundation was a project, a plan, a way to remember him, to continue his legacy of service. And that's what my intentions were with the foundation, to make sure that we remember his life and celebrate his life, the way he lived, not so much focus on how he died, because that's hurtful, painful, mm-hmm. even 14, 15 years later. But we want to honor him and them, all the fallen officers that put their uniform on every single day, go to work, serve, protect our community. But we really don't know what they left behind at home in all the sacrifices that not only themselves, but the families make for our community.
That's what I like to talk about on Lifestyle Tucson, is the faces behind the places and also the faces behind the people, mm-hmm. because that's what happens. Don't forget that every person that you meet has a family somewhere behind them, even if it's relatives or their parents, their sisters and brothers, but also their family, their kids, their wives. And that's really important to think about, because sometimes we look at life a little two-dimensionally, mm-hmm. And there's a lot more going on behind the scenes of all scenes in our lives. But let's talk about the big event that's in front of us all, and it's coming up. And it's May 13th. It's the ERIK HITE Foundation's 12th annual Fallen Officer Memorial 5K, as well as 2-mile family walk. And it's a touch-a-truck event, one of my favorite things. It's coming up in just a little bit. It's a Saturday, so clear your schedules, because you're going to want to go to Reed Park at Ramada 20 and 22, the northwest corner of Park on Country Club and Camino Campestre?
Yep.
All right. Registration opens at 6 a.m., so get there early and get all the details early on, right? But opening ceremonies are there at 7:30 a.m. The 5K begins at 8:30 a.m. Limber up. All right, first, second, and third place for the 5K awards for men and women. It's going to be a great day out. Enjoy the celebration. Let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into some of the other events going on that day.
Yeah, so with the 5K, again, we will have the opening ceremony where we're going to remember. We're going to remember our fallen officers and giving the opportunity to all our community to come and share that moment to remember the sacrifice that they make and that these officers made for our community. But after that is celebration of life, celebration of what they would be doing now. I'm sure that ERIK and all these officers will not want it any other way. We don't want to be sad about it. We want to make sure that we continue their legacy and we want to have fun. So there's a lot of activities. It's a family-oriented event. So you can bring babies, you can bring grandmas and husbands and wives. So, anybody in the family will find a place to have fun that morning.
And not only can you do that, you can register as a family as well. I saw that you can do that as an individual. Register as a family. I believe that's $100, includes several children, right? You can do it as an individual. That's only $40. But you could also, in case you're just looking to score a T-shirt, you could be a phantom runner.
Yeah.
Right? That's where you just donate $40. You don't got to show up. They're going to send you a T-shirt after the event. You can be a part of it without having to break a sweat.
Yes. And there's people that sign up just to walk. There's a 2-mile, family walk, and then you can walk it. And then there's, to-go breakfast, snacks. There's food trucks. I believe up to now we have about 25 different trucks.
No kidding.
There's even a submarine coming.
Wow.
And so there's really cool stuff.
That's going to be at the Touch Truck.
Right. That would be at the Touch Truck. That is ongoing the whole morning, since 7 in the morning until 11:30. All those vehicles are going to be parked. You can come touch it, take pictures, talk to the drivers, just interact with all of those. And it's just a fun event all the way around. We really have a lot of fun, a lot of people, and we just want to make sure that the community knows it's open to the public, anybody who wants to come and join us that morning.
That's great. And that's a good way to raise all this money. All this money goes to helping children and families of fallen officers, right? Let's talk about the Child Care Center.
Yeah.
Tell me all about it. What are you up to?
So Child Care program it is our signature program. We opened our first location on the east side in 2011. So it offers the extended hours for all the shift work, right? The firefighters, police, active duty military work, and extended hours that is completely outside childcare regular business, right? And then the affordability, because having to pay for after 6 p.m. is expensive.
Yes.
If you have to pay for a Saturday, for early mornings, that's expensive. So thanks to all the fundraising that we do throughout the year, we're able to keep the fees associated with the childcare very low, 45% less than what these parents will be paying outside our program.
That's really huge because, again, they deserve their heroes. They're really putting their lives on the line. These first responders deserve a little bit of thanks from the community. So you can donate. How can people donate aside from just this event?
Yeah, visiting our website is super easy. I got a call the other day from one of our new supporters says, it was super easy to donate on your website. So www.erikhitefoundation.org. And just click on that donate button. There's a list of programs that you can assignate your donation. 90% of your donations go to the programs, go to the family. Wow. Yeah, only 10% goes to administrative and fundraising expenses. But be sure that 90% go back to the families. So it's super easy on our website. We accept checks. There is a mailing address there too, and super easy. We're trying to make things easier for our donors.
Well, that's what you want to do. You want to take away, you want to have people unpack as few boxes as possible and trying to do something. That's the point. Because sometimes people get to that cart and then they just sit there and they idle. Make this donation. It's worth it. And again, you could also get a T-shirt for doing it if you do the Phantom Runner, which is great. But as of this recording, you're 31% of the way toward your goal of $75,000. So that's really good. Go check out their website. All right, we'll go through it again when I do a little bit of a recap. And there's also a way to donate. Remember, that's donate time. And that's my favorite thing to do is volunteer. Are you looking for volunteers for the organization? And is that for this event and throughout the year?
Yeah, we're always looking for volunteers. There is a couple of board seats currently. So business owners who are listening right now who want to give of their time to the foundation, that's an option. Volunteer our events. This 5K requires an amount of a huge amount of time to put together, months of planning. So we need committee members, volunteers day off for the event. We have our gala coming up in the fall. So there's another huge event that we need volunteers the day off or be in the committee as well. We do community events, to join other organizations in the community and to raise awareness of our programs. So we actually looking for volunteers there too. Or with our programs, there's a lot of grandparents who want to be plugged in the community. They love our child care program. They have to go through a background check and then assist, teachers and coming to read books to our kids. Yeah, so there's so many different opportunities.
That's excellent. Do you want to help kids? Because that's my favorite thing to promote here on the show. Again, grandmas and grandpas, you want to go read to kids and make them feel good? That's a great time. Yeah. It's a great way to spend your time. That's fantastic.
Some of them come and hold babies.
Oh, do you want to go hold babies?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. The babies of heroes. That's fantastic. Yep. What a big deal. Oh, my goodness. That's like, again, we're talking about heroes here. So go be a sidekick. Remember? Go do it. Go help champion the cause here for the ERIK HITE Foundation. I really do love it. And again, I love what you've done with what you had to do. Yeah. It's really important to be helping and really pushing that positivity forward. Yeah. Because it's a big way to get through a lot of turmoil is just having a positive attitude and helping others.
Exactly. Yeah. I was as expected, losing him from 1 minute to the next. I saw him in the morning when he went to work, and I never saw him again alive coming back home. And we had a 1-year-old daughter at that time, and I needed to teach her that no matter what comes your way, it's not what comes your way, it's how you handle it.
Wow.
And teaching her to be strong and resilient, and she is. But it's all in our attitude, right?
That's exactly right. All right. Goodness, if you want to help this organization, how can you not? I mean, come on. Here, let me check my pockets. I know I've got something to give, and we all do, especially, again, if you can give the time, give it, all right? Even just sharing this episode of Lifestyle Tucson to someone that you know that it might help heal is a good way to do it. Talk about it, get involved, talk to your families out there that have a relationship with first responders, because, again, they will definitely appreciate the work you're doing. I got to thank you for the work that you're doing because it's really important.
Thank you.
It really is. So today we made friends with Noemi HITE, founder and chief executive director of the ERIK HITE Foundation, providing flexible and affordable childcare and preschool centers to the families of law enforcement and emergency services, employees of our community, as well as our military active duty personnel, and above all else, honoring our fallen officers. Thank you for joining me today, Noemi.
Thank you for having me, Frank.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. I'd feel like an idiot if I went bing bong bing, so that's usually how I get to a recap. But it's time for a recap. So wasn't that a nice somber conversation that I had there with Noemi? Oh my goodness. And I almost had to reach for a handkerchief more than anything else. You know how you hear a great strong woman get quoted and you put those words that she said in quotes and then their name under those quotes with a dash? Well, that's what Noemi HITE deserves. It's not what comes your way. It's how you handle it. Don't forget that. Those are wise words from a strong woman. So let's support the ERIK HITE Foundation because they're really doing a lot of great stuff. And that's by going to the erikhitefoundation.org. It's ERIK with a K, so don't be confused. And speaking of Ks, they got a 5K coming up and a 2-mile family walk May 13th. It's the 12th annual Fallen Officers Memorial 5K, and there's also a Touch-a-Truck event there. I love a Touch-a-Truck, and so do your kids, trust me. If you've never brought them to a Touch-a-Truck event, they love it. You get to explore a bunch of different cars, vehicles, trucks, lots of photo ops, lots of fun times for kids to explore vehicles, which is great. And if you want to, again, do what you can be a Phantom runner, get the shirt without breaking a sweat by donating $40. Just go to the website, or donate anything else, donate a different amount of money, donate what you can, but donate your time. And donating your time means, remember, reading books to children and holding babies. Oh my goodness, what a good time. So don't forget, you can do that, and you could possibly become a board member if you're responsible enough to read to children and hold babies. So I want to thank our new friends at the ERIK HITE Foundation, specifically Noemi HITE, for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. For more information about our program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on Spotify and iTunes, or wherever fine podcasts are running. I'm your BFF Frank Powers. Toot Toot Tucson. I love you the most.